Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let us get started with Total Commander for Windows. It is very cool, it's awesome, it will make you more efficient. It is a lot of fun also. And if you are using pure Windows and if you don't use WSL, then I would say this is almost a must. Because it's easy to navigate through your folders, it's easy to synchronize between two folders, the files, it's easy to copy the file names. There are so many things that you would actually expect from an operating system that actually comes with Total Commander, which does not come with Windows per default. This is the video about how to get started and how to set up some cool things that can actually make you more efficient. So the first thing is, where can we get this beautiful awesome piece of software? And we can get it on this URL right here, gislot.com, and then download, and then you can choose a 64-bit version, because you probably have a 64-bit version of Windows right now. And then if you want to purchase it and buy it, you can choose yourself. It's shareware, and you can test it for 30 days, but you can actually just continue pressing. There's an annoying pop-up after 30 days still. You can just press that annoying pop-up if you don't want to, if you're too cheap to pay for this software right here, but I think you should pay for it. It's €37, and it's easy to buy, and if you're a student, it's even cheaper, than it's 27.75 euro instead. But before you come that far, of course, you want to see what can I do. Why am I so impressed with this software right here? And the first thing is that I want to set some configuration up. I want to increase the font size, so it's easier to demonstrate. File list, change the font. Yes, just set it to size 12 instead. So now we can actually see what's going on the screen, and we have two sides, a right side and a left side. And usually when you want to copy files to, then your left side would usually be your source, and your right side would actually be your destination. But you can choose yourself, because if you stand in the right side and you press copy, F6, the shortcut keys for all of the things that I do right now. If I use the mouse once in a while, then it's just because I forgot which shortcut key it actually was, and then that's why I do that. So, but I can press tab to the tab key to go between the left side and the right side. And as I said just before, if you want to delete a folder, that's easier. Just press F7, F8. I can create a new folder with F7. So let us just do that. Mike's new folder right there. So now I got a new folder. And all the folders right now has squared brackets around them. That is the default setting. Of course, you can remove that if you don't like that. If I press backspace, then I go one folder up in the hierarchy. If I press enter, then I actually go down into the folder that I'm pointing at. So that is how we navigate. I can press up and down to change the selected folder or file. I can select multiple files and folders by using space. You can see now some of them are red, and I can also, if you want to use the mouse, then I can right click on each of those that I want to select, and then I can delete those files, folders and files if I want to. I could also move them somewhere else. That's totally up to me. I can do something with these with the selection if I want to. Right now I don't need a selection, so I'll just remove that again. If you want to search in the current files right here, you want to filter the files, then per default you have to hold L control and then start writing something like let us write test containers control Alt, and then test containers. Look, now I get my search box in the bottom right here. This is very annoying, so we're going to change that in just a minute. But if you just start writing letters without any function keys, then usually you would actually end up in the command in the command line right here. This means you can actually execute stuff right here. You can run if you have some tools that you want to run in the current folder. There could be VS Code or something like that, or IntelliJ. Then you can just write it right here, and then you would execute it. I don't use that very often, and that's why I actually want my default setting to be so when I start typing something, then it should filter and go to the to the file that I want to target. And I'll show you why I don't use the command line that much. First of all, I can always start a terminal. If I want to do that, I can start my Git Bash terminal. Then I'm still in pure Windows then, but yeah, so let us just look at configuration options. There's something called quick search right here. So the quick search, you want to change that. You can see that stands to Control Alt letters. If I want to do a quick search inside a current directory, I want this to be letters, not letters only, but letters with search dialog, because then I get nice search dialog. Or when I start typing, then I know that I'm actually in the search mode. So let us say that I want to go to Spring Boot Liquibase. Let's see, I want to go to dependency vulnerability in the top, then I start writing DEP like this. And now I'm actually located right there, and then I can go into this folder right here. I can also go back again. Let us say that I want to go to mapping. MAPPING, but that's because, what if we write? Yeah, so if you use the wildcard, the asterisk like the star, then I can, then I'll still select the Spring Boot mapping folder right there. So that's quite awesome. And if you start writing something like, let us say, asterisk the star, JPA body or something like that, and then you regret, first of all, you can actually see when I press up and down now, it's only selects the ones that I have in my search, in my quick filter, in my quick search right now. If I regret that and I don't want it to be there anyway, then I can just press escape. Quite cool. Yes, it is. So then now I'll go to Mike's folder right here. Now I want to create a new file, so I want to create a new file, and for doing that, I could use, now I can actually use the command bar. If I want to do that, then I can write Notepad, and I can say my new file.txt, and yes, create new file, and then we'll say hello world 1, and then I save this, and then I just press exit. Because I want to show another feature that is Control Q, where you have a quick view. So if I press Control Q, now suddenly in the right side I actually see a quick view definition of my file. Usually the right tool will actually be chosen. So this means that if you have a sound file, then your preferred sound editor, your sound player will then be used to open this file with instead. Or if it's a video file, then yeah, let us try that actually. So let me just go to videos right there. That I have. These are folder shortcuts. These shortcuts that have in the top right here are made by just dragging. So let's say that I take a folder, then I can drag it up in the top right here. Of course, I should give it another icon than the default icons, and the icons should be larger. So let us just change the icon size right away. Display right there, and then we can go to the icons, and then we can say that they should be larger somewhere. They should be larger. Maybe it's a font. Isn't the font? No, it's not the font. It's the icons. It should be right here. So let me just check right here. We have it. Show icons, show default, show hidden. It is somewhere. I'm very close. I can feel it, but it's. It is possible to say that we want the big icons instead of the icon size right here. What happens if we say 32? Apply. No, that was not it. We want that these are the icons. It should be in the top bar, right? So it should be. I know where it is now. Now I talked myself into where it was. It's in the button bar. So if we choose button bar right there, here we can say that we want the big icons instead of the small icons. Say okay. So now we get large icons instead. I'll go back to my button bar because I want to change my folders. I want to see that to be able to see that these are videos, so I can choose another icon right here. Of course, I could choose one from the file, but I'm just going to choose one. So let's say that the video folder will be this icon right here. That's a good icon for that. My project folder could be like which one should we use? Again, I'll just choose one. I think this will be my project folder. I'll press OK. So now I know that this icon right here, that is my project folder right here. And I can click between them and then, of course, choose those. Let us just press Control Q on. That is the quick view, and it's of course it's the quick view actually only shows. It is usually text that is being shown there. So. So let me just show another one right here. So let's show the quick view right here. Then instead I'll press enter to actually play this video right here. And then my VLS actually, my VLC actually started up. And then I could actually see myself right there creating some, creating a test video for us to check if the sound was actually okay. Yeah, so now we have already seen a lot of things. We can configure a lot of stuff, but we have not seen the coolest thing yet, and that is if I go to the button bar, when you add your preferred integrated development environment, your IDE, then you should just see, then the magic will actually start. So if I go to my VS Code right now, right click on that, then I will say open file location, right click on that, and then I'll say properties, then I'll copy the target, then I'll place that in my command right there, and then I'll copy the start in, also start path, and then I'll also copy the icon, which is right here. And then I know it looks a bit clumsy. I don't know if that's an easy way to do it, but then I'll check run maximized, and then I'll click OK. So now I got the VS Code icon right there. And why is that smart, you might ask now? Why is that cool? Because then if I take one file or a folder, I can also take a whole folder, Mike's new folder, then I can drag that to VS Code. And what happens then? VS Code starts inside that folder, and it's the exact same with IntelliJ. So this means that if I am doing the same with IntelliJ, then I can actually start a project just by dragging the project up into this little button bar right here, where I have my IntelliJ. So I'll just add a new one right now, and then I'll look for IntelliJ. It is right here. Open file location, and then I'll say properties. Target, yes, copy, thank you very much for that. To the command, start in, yes, start in this path right here. Change the icon so I can just get the path, yes, thank you very much, and okay. So now I have IntelliJ, now I have VS Code right there. And let us try to start first of all, I've actually, let me just close IntelliJ because I already had it opened up. So let us just go to my demo of Cucumber. So if I'll just drag that to IntelliJ, and let's just see what happens. So now IntelliJ starts up, and it starts up in that project that we just chose. Awesome. Okay, so let's say that now the project has actually started up, and it does the usual with indexing and looking for JDKs and all the stuff. But let us say that we're still in Total Commander now. Then I go find some source code, main Java, com. Then I go find my, whatever source code that I was looking for. Maybe I was actually, okay, the default association is not IntelliJ. It should be IntelliJ because when I press enter now, then it's actually VS Code that starts it up, but that's okay. It's because my settings right now is that VS Code is the default handler of Java files. If you are a normal person, you would probably have IntelliJ as the default, to handle the default association with Java files. But that is okay. The principle still works. So the principle still works. This just means that if you press enter, then your preferred application will then handle this file that we have right here. It actually handles it quite good with VS Code. There are some things that's a bit difficult, but that's a whole other story. Let me not get down that road. So I'll just close VS Code. And then we come to the next topic, and that is very easy to compare folders, and it's also easy to synchronize folders. So let us say Mike's new folder in here. I'll create a new folder again in here. So I'll say new folder, and then we'll say folder 1, and then we'll create another folder, folder 2. And then actually I'll go one up, and then I will actually start VS Code again because I want to place some files in these folders right here. So I'll say folder 1, file1.txt, file2.txt. And we'll go to folder 2, and here I'll also create a file 2 right here, .txt, and I'll also create a file 3.txt. So it's just so we have some different files right here, and I'll just fill in something stupid. So something, and save. Yes. And I'm pretty sure that I have autosave as soon as it loses focus. Yes, of course I've enabled that. Okay, so now we have two folders, folder 1, folder 2, and let us now. There was one thing that I want to do. I want to copy the left side location to the right side. and I just forgot how to do that. So let us just look right here. Let me just check this one right here. Command synchronize DS. Yes, this was the one. No, that was not the one. Synchronize DS. Branch view. No. Source tag. Yes, Control U. No, that just okay. Control U. That's also a good one actually. Control U. It swaps the left and right side, so that can also be very handy sometimes. It was the bottom. Okay, there's actually no shortcut key to target equal source. I just wanted the left side to be equal to the right side in my total commander. That's okay. I'll go to folder 2 in one of them, then I'll go to folder 1 in the other one, and now I want to synchronize the files. I want these folders to be exactly the same. What do? We press the file. We press the synchronize directories. It is awesome for this task right here, because what happens now? I can press compare. First of all, I could change the folders if I want to. Then I press compare. And right now here we actually, if you're a programmer, then you will probably, then this will probably remind you about how a merge works in IntelliJ or VS Code. You can actually see the changes from the left side. That this little green arrow here means that the F1 will be created in the right folder. That means in the folder 2. This F2 has a merge conflict in it, and there will be some. They're not the same file. And then we have the file 3, where that will actually be copied to folder 1. They are not equal. So what will actually happen when we do that? Let us just press synchronize, and then we will see synchronize left to right, yes, and also right to left. That's okay. Confirm, all right, yes. And then we still have the red one because nothing actually happened there on the file 2. Let us just press Control Q. Control Q again, and we go to the other file. Press Control Q. We can see they're still different. So file the F2, they were not. It was not overwritten. We could have chosen to overwrite one of the ways if we wanted to. That's actually, I think there's also a way to, if I want to copy this file to the right, then I can say append. Actually, let us just do that. Let's say we copy these 3 files from the left side to the right side. Copy. And then it will actually figure out that the files was already there. Then I can say that this should be. Let's just say okay first. Yeah, look at all of those options that we get right here. This is not this is not like Windows, right? Windows, Pathfinder, or Explorer, whatever you call yourself nowadays. Why couldn't you not? Why couldn't you make a tool like this instead, right? You have had so many years, Microsoft. It is incredible, but it's okay now. We have total commanders, of course. We don't have to complain. Append, yes. Look what we have right here. Append. The file's already there. F1, should I overwrite? Should I append the file? And we know this file we will just skip because they're actually exactly the same. We can also see that on the content right there. So we'll just skip this file right here. Then now we come to file 2, and we can see that those files are actually different. There are more bytes in the first one than the second one. So I'll just say append. Append, yes. And then the second file, we will overwrite that just to choose something else. So we get many more options when we want to move or copy files from one place to another place. And right now you say, okay, but it's only 3 files. Was it really that difficult, Mike? No, but think about if you have like hundreds of files, right? Then it's a whole other thing. Let us actually see what happened to the F2 file now in the folder 2, because we now say append. Of course, I forgot how it looked in the beginning, but I think this was, yeah, we can see this string right here is now appended to the second file right there. So append worked pretty cool. But Mike, we want more from a utility like this. What about can it zip off files, for instance? Good question. Yes, it can. That was a very, very good question. So let us just pack the files. I'll press pack, and then I can choose zip. I can choose RAR. I can choose TGZ. I can choose whatever I want to, and then I can say okay. And I can also encrypt the folder if I want to do that. And then I get a representation of those files. Or I get a zip file with those files or directories if I chose those in the left side right here. So this is my folder 2, but how can I now see which files is inside this zipped, this archive right here? I can just press enter, just like it was a normal directory. Yes, Windows can also do that, so that's okay. But we can still do that right here, and I can actually also let us say that I wanted to delete a file. Let us see it. Yes. Look, I just deleted one file from my archive. I think this is really strong, and it saves a lot of time, I would say, with file operations. Even if you're a Linux shark, a mastermind that knows exactly how to wrap something into a tarball with all of your commands, then it will take you time to actually filter all of those folders that you want to include and the folders that you want to exclude. But it seems quite it's quite easy with Total Commander. That's just what I was trying to say. So what was the other thing? Yes, another thing. We want more. Yes. It's almost like the TV shop, right? So what about if I want us to flatten all of my folder structure and see all of my files? Is that difficult? No. Control B. It's very easy. Very easy. Good question, but it is very easy. Look right here. So here we have F1, F2, F2, F3, my new files. They're all here. Awesome. But can I filter in all of these now that they are being flattened? Let us try. I'll just write F and then 3. Then see, yes, now it's filtered on all of those files. So if you at some point knew that you have some kind of file that you don't remember where it actually was, especially let's say you're in a Java project, many files in Java project. So if I go to my source folders right here, and I know I have this application Java something file in there, Control B. Where is it? Okay, let us just filter, star, and then application. There is my application file. Okay. Cool. So which folder is it in? It is located in this folder right here. And I can, can I get the folder as clear text? Very good question. Of course you can. There it is. That is the file in clear text, including the path. You can also just have the file name if you don't want to do it including the file name. Then you can just take that. Copy names with full path. There's one that just says copy names. No. There's one that says just copy names somewhere. I just forgot where it was. And you can also see a tree. If you really want to have a tree, then you can also see that. And you can also view the thumbnails if you want to see. If you have a folder with a lot of images, then you can see all the thumbnails and all the images if you want to. All source only. Let me just see. I wanted the file name. I want the file name, but without the path. Of course, I could just remove the. It is possible. I just forgot where it is. Somewhere up there. Yeah, believe me, it's up there somewhere. It doesn't matter because I want to show. Instead of spending my time or your time on that, then I want to. Do something else. I want to show the rename feature because it is awesome. Also compared to all of the other features. Let's say that we have some files right here. So I want to rename these first. I think I want to. Of course I can also press F3 to view them. Then they come up like that, and I can press F4 to edit them. Then the default editor is being used for that. But right now, actually, I wanted to rename them. I can just press right there. But I think I can also press... is it F2? No, yeah, F2. Of course, I can press F2 to rename. Then I can say my file something. My file... That is incredible. Why can I not press F2 anymore? Okay, I'll just press slowly with the mouse. There is a shortcut also for renaming. But the reason why I'm actually renaming one by one is because I want to show the renaming feature, the real renaming feature, and that's quite awesome. So we have a lot of files right here. Pretend that we have 300 files right here. I only have 3 files right now. Then I'll say multi-rename tool, Control M. That is quite cool. Control M, because first of all, we want to select some more. Let's just select all of them. Control M for multi-rename tool. Then we have these 3 files down here. We have the name mask, which is up here. And if I remove that, then that is the result. So this is the result that we actually get right here. This means that if I don't want my file in front, this is the situation that we actually have now. Then I can just press measure first character. And then we say select the characters to insert. So we want those. Let me just. So we want to go up here, and then we want to say N. Then we say 5, 4 to 6. Yeah, we need to find the right index. So that's actually 8 to 10. Yeah. So I can actually say that I want all of the content from 8 to 10. And there's some quite, I can use these buttons. If I knew how to use these buttons a bit better, then I could do that. But right now I say that I want the 8th character to the 10th character, and then I also want the extension. The extension is over here. If I want another extension, let's say I want to rename this to .markdown instead, then I'll get these files instead, F2, F1, F3, to markdown. And this is awesome. If you've ever tried to rename a lot of files, then this is exactly the tool that you want. Of course, if you're a Linux shark, then you have the right tools there to do the same, of course, but you still have to remember all of that. And my bet is that you would have to Google to find out how to do this this rename right here. Let us press start and see what happens. So start result list. Okay, then I can get that. That's kind of a receipt. What's going on? Then we can press start right here. Please press start to start renaming. Yeah, I think we're done. And then we will come out here. It's because yes, and this is because this is because I took too many characters. Now I also got the dots right there. So my rename was not that good. Can I still undo it? I don't think so. Oh, I cannot undo it. Now I went out of this box, so I cannot undo it. But of course I can press Control M again, and then I can say I want N1 to 2 or 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 1 to 1. That is the first one, 1 to 2. The extension right here. That's where I had the dots. I did it right regarding the indexes, just so you know. It was just by the extension, then I pressed the dot in front of that. Let us rename, let us close, and see that beautiful result right there. Mike, you are a total commander shark. Yes. I know. It is. It's not only my skills, I would say. It's also because Total Commander is a good tool. So that is. That's what I wanted to show you. I really like. What I really like is actually I like to have my projects right here. And then if I want to start the JPA optional, for instance, then I can just drag it up right there. I think that's much easier than having to try to find stuff inside the IntelliJ. So now IntelliJ actually opens up the other project instead. Awesome. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.